So the Chiefs offense looks to be on pace this year to finally get back to that high scoring, deep ball throwing, quick strike juggernaut that we've been used to under the first few seasons of the Patrick Mahomes era. The major deal breaker on whether or not that's going to happen is if the offensive line can keep his jersey clean, and a massive part of that offensive line is Trey Smith. In this video, we'll discuss the latest on his contract negotiations, leaving no stone unturned on the situation because we're getting pretty close to crunch time here. We will also take a look into the contract situation of second-round pick Norman-Lott, who is yet to sign along with almost all the other second-round draft picks. And through our digging on the issue, we may have discovered who's at fault here for all these second-round holdouts. And it rhymes with Rhett Smeech.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up.
So big thanks to you, the viewer, for trusting All Chiefed Up to bring you this news, plus much more. And as always, if you find any value in this content, hit that like button and drop a comment. And if you're enjoying it, be sure to follow along all season by clicking that subscribe button now.
So with receivers like Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice returning to their healthy forms, and Xavier Worthy having a pretty nice rookie season under his belt, it does look like the Patrick Mahomes Revenge Tour is still a go for this fall. The offense should be pretty good, right? According to overthecap.com, the Chiefs are the highest paid offense in the entire NFL, just edging out the Falcons, Bengals, Rams, and even the Lions, who round out the top 5 highest paid offenses.
And I know what you're thinking. You think because we have Patrick Mahomes, we obviously have the highest paid offense in the NFL. But in a shocking surprise here, Mahomes only ranks 14th in 2025 quarterback salary. Dak Prescott and Matt Stafford come in at over a whopping $50 million for the season. Wild for a total of 1 Super Bowl split between the two of them. Mahomes just barely edges out Baker Mayfield, who rounds out the top 15. So if not the quarterback, it must be the running back and wide receivers, right? Just look at how stacked our wide receiver room is right now. But no, the wide receiver room ranks 28th in salary for 2025, and the running back room also comes in at 28th.
The tight end room with Travis Kelce and Noah Gray leading the way actually is the second highest paid, just behind the Saints of all teams. No idea why Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau is making more money than Travis Kelce and Noah Gray, or why they would make more money than 30 other tight end rooms. But hey, just be glad you aren't a Saints fan with that front office that obviously has no idea what they're doing. So if it's not the QB or a skill position, why is the Chiefs offense so expensive? Well, it's the offensive line. Yeah, the Achilles heel seemingly year in and year out, the reason Mahomes has lost 2 Super Bowls in weird blowout fashion, but hopefully no more. Brett Veach has actually invested some good money into this offensive line, signing Jalen Moore this offseason, drafting Joshua Simmons in round 1, and resetting the center market with the Creed Humphrey contract. Now let's be honest, the Jawan Taylor contract really makes this room pop, and honestly, that looks to be an expensive mistake at this point. But nonetheless, he's on the books. Also on the books is Trey Smith and his franchise tag salary of $23.4 million this year. And that's a big one. So let's break down this Trey Smith situation as fast as we can here without bombarding you with too much pointless information.
As we all know, back in 2021, the Chiefs nabbed Trey Smith in the 6th round. What a freaking steal. He was honestly a 2nd round projection, 3rd round at the latest. But while at Tennessee, he started experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath and passing out during his workouts, which led doctors to discover blood clots in his freaking lungs. He was initially put on blood thinners, which prevented him from playing due to the risk of internal bleeding from contact. After further evaluation, including consultations with blood clot specialists, he was cleared to play again, but without the blood thinners, which meant the clots could potentially return. And that alone caused a lot of teams to steer clear of Smith and led to his fall in the draft. But with the Chiefs, he started 55 out of 56 games, appearing in 3 Super Bowls, and won 2 rings in 23 and 24. His stats are elite, top 5 in run and pass block win rates per ESPN. In 2024, though, he did finish up his rookie deal, earning $3.36 million per overthecap.com. This then started the offseason debate on whether the Chiefs would pay up or let him hit free agency.
So on February 27th, 2025, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport actually broke the news the Chiefs slapped the non-exclusive franchise tag on Trey Smith. That's a 1-year, fully guaranteed $23.4 million deal for this season, making him the NFL's highest paid guard, outpacing Landon Dickerson's $21 million average. With the non-exclusive tag, Smith could still negotiate with other teams, but if a deal was reached, the Chiefs had the chance to match that offer or receive 2 first-round picks in exchange for Trey Smith. But why was the tag so high? NFL.com says the tag's calculated from the top 5 offensive line salaries, which is the tackles, the guards, and the centers, so it's boosted by those big tackle contracts. The Chiefs are making a statement here saying Smith's not going to go anywhere. But here's the twist. That $23.4 million takes up 8.4% of their allotted $279 million salary cap this offseason. Overthecap.com had them at $20.8 million over the cap when they tagged Trey Smith. The math started getting pretty tricky for Brett Veach in Kansas City.
Then March 10th rolls around and Rappaport reports that Smith did sign the tag, locking in that $23.4 million for 2025. Just great. No holdout drama. Even Chris Jones, who's navigated a tag himself, called it smart and a presser, noting it buys time for a long-term deal. The NFL sets a July 15th, 2025 deadline for that extension. So if they don't agree, Smith plays under the tag and 2026 brings all new questions. So to make this work, the Chiefs pull off some cap magic. On March 12th, ESPN's Adam Teicher reports they restructured Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones' contracts, freeing up $49.446 million. They also traded off All-Pro guard Joe Thuney to the Bears, betting on their young talent in Trey Smith. And that wasn't the only thing they done in the offseason. They re-signed Nick Bolton and Hollywood Brown, brought in Jalen Moore and Christian Fulton. Overthecap.com showed $10.89 million in cap space before these moves, but the restructurings created the room. It was a masterclass in roster juggling by Brett Veach, as usual.
By April 3rd, Trey Smith was on Fox Sports First Things First, sounding positive about a long-term deal. He said he loves Kansas City, he loves the fans, he loves the team, and he trusts Brett Veach and his agents to sort it out. That was a hopeful sign, but time was still ticking. On June 16th, the Chiefs' social media team hinted that Smith was at mandatory minicamp, confirmed by KC stars Nick Jacobs and Matt Derrick. So he's not skipping out or racking up fines, he was committed. On June 19th, Breer says talks are ongoing. The Chiefs need an extension to cut that $23.4 million cap hit, but Smith's got the leverage with that huge tag salary. The clock's still winding down to July 15th. So what's a Trey Smith deal gonna even look like? Let's check the guard market. Per overthecap.com and SpotRack, Philly's Landon Dickerson signed a 4-year, $84 million deal in 2024. That was $21 million a year and $50 million guaranteed. Atlanta's Chris Lindstrom got 5 years, $102 million, $20.5 million a year, $51 million guaranteed. Indy's Quentin Nelson signed 4 years, $80 million with $20 per year and $60 guaranteed. Even Chiefs center Creed Humphrey got 4 years, $72 million, $18 a year and $40 million guaranteed. Smith's 26 years old, just like Landon Dickerson, and his tag sets a high bar. Arrowhead Pride predicts 4 years, $84 to $90 million, somewhere in that range, and $60 to $65 million guaranteed. SpotRack says 4 years, $78.8 million, but that feels super low, honestly. Heavy.com suggests 5 years, $106 million.
With the 2025 cap at $279.2 million, which is up from last year at $270, and a 2026 tag number at about $28 million, a 4-year, $88 to $92 million deal, topping Dickerson's pay and Nelson's guarantees, makes a whole lot more sense. The deal, like Creed Humphreys, is probably going to reset the market. Look, Smith's a cornerstone, 2 Super Bowl wins, elite stats, Mahomes protector. The Chiefs can't afford to lose him, but that $23.4 million tag strains the cap, with Humphrey, Jawan Taylor, and others all eating up space. For Smith, the tag's big money, but an injury's a major concern with that. A $60 million guaranteed deal offers a little bit of security. So what's coming? A long-term deal by July 15th is likely, dropping the 2025 cap hit to $10 to $15 million with a signing bonus. If not, Smith plays under the tag and 2026 gets a little intense. A trade's unlikely, they're too invested. This is all about fueling the Chiefs' dynasty. As July 15th looms, all eyes are on Smith and the Chiefs to close up this blockbuster deal. Be sure to get down in the comments and let us know if you think they're going to get that deal done by July 15th, or if Smith's going to make a bunch of money on the tag.
But that's not the only contract holdout going on in Kansas City right now. Second-round pick Norman-Lott actually still has not signed his contract. There have only been 2 second-round picks sign their contract so far. The rest, they're holding out. But why? And who do we have to blame for this? What if we told you the Chiefs and Brett Veach are primarily to blame? Not that surprising really, is it? Veach is always blurring the lines between madman and just plain mad. The simple answer to why these second-round picks are holding out? Money. Big surprise, huh? But not just money. The big issue right now is the guaranteed money. And that's a big difference. The Houston Texans were pretty quick to give their wide receiver Jaden Higgins, the second pick in the second round of the 2025 draft, a fully guaranteed $11.7 million contract, which was the first fully guaranteed contract for a second-round pick in the history of the NFL. For perspective, the Packers' Javon Bullard, a 2024 second-round pick last year, only received $3.8 million in guarantees. At the moment, the only second-rounders who have signed their deals are Jaden Higgins of the Texans and Carson Schweischiger, linebacker of the Browns. The next 31 players selected behind that duo in the 2025 draft remain completely unsigned.
Now, how in the hell is this Brett Veach's fault? Well, it's not just Veach. Our third-round pick, Ashton Gelati, also plays a major role in this. As a third-round draft pick, Chiefs pass rusher Ashton Gelati signed for $1.5 million guaranteed earlier this offseason, which means that those 31 unsigned players before Gelati, all second-round picks, are currently waiting on the second-round market to see how the guarantees play out closer to their draft slots. NFL owners and general managers can't be too happy with the Texans or the Browns for giving guaranteed contracts. And they're definitely not happy with Brett Veach for giving guaranteed money to a third rounder. So what should an Omar Norman-Lott contract look like? Well, in terms of overall salary, it should be close to what Kingsley Suamataia received last year with 4 years, $6.4 million, and that included a $1.49 million signing bonus and $3.37 million guaranteed. So it feels like if you take Higgins' $11.7 million guaranteed and Gelati's $1.5 million guaranteed, and you start pay scaling that, then it's feasible that based on that $100,000 guaranteed money difference in Schweisiger and Higgins contracts, Norman-Lott would receive a 4-year deal with about $8.8 million guaranteed. Now, honestly, going by those same numbers, the Gelati guaranteed money should have been around $8.5 million, but instead he got $1.5 million guaranteed. So you can see how these uncharted territories for agents, players, and teams start to get real confusing real quick. So training camp kicks off in 12 days, so if you don't want to miss out on anything, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along with All Chiefed Up. Be sure to get down in the comments and let us know what you think about Omar Norman-Lott. How much guaranteed money is he going to get in his contract? And the big news, is Trey Smith going to get that deal done by July 15th?
Thanks for commenting and sharing this with a friend. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.